Good morning, everybody. My name is Alyssa Cooper, and here we are cooking in quarantine. Although today, I'm not going to cook because I'm too hungry to wait for the food. So I stopped by the store and I got a few of my favorite things. I got some Genoa salami, even though I know that the nitrates and stuff like that, we're not supposed to eat them, but it's a special treat for me. I got the real deal Arthur Avenue from the Bronx, fresh mozzarella. And I have all these little goodies out, and I'm going to make like a little dipping sauce for it. I've got my toaster here. I stopped at Breads and got the excellent, high quality, delicious baguette. And I'm just going to make a little sandwich today. But really what I'm here to talk to you about is much more important than that. We're going to talk a little bit about how I'm going to expand some things in the new year. So starting in the new year, I'm going to add a couple of segments of wine classes in the week. So we'll talk about things, one of the things that I've developed over the years of teaching wine classes, like 16, 17 years I've been doing this, is that wine is really complex. It's very challenging to understand because a lot of the terminology doesn't seem to line up. And so, for example, when you talk about a wine being dry, right, do you mean that it's a wine that makes your mouth dry out? Well, it's not. That a wine can make your mouth dry out and be sweet because it's a different reaction. It's not the reaction to the wine, the dryness or the sugar quality of the wine. It's a reaction to the tannin level in the wine. So we're going to do that. We're going to start learning how to really drill down and understand wine. And whoever was out there giving me hellos and loves, I thank you for that. But what we're going to talk about today is immediate. New Year's Eve is 2 days away, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. New Year's Eve is probably 2 days away, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sure that there's a lot of you who today and tomorrow are going to be buying some sparkling wine for your holiday. So because of that, we're going to talk about something that I think is really important. We're in this, as I walked home today from my physical therapy, I walked from Houston and Broadway all the way back over here to Chelsea. And what I saw was almost nobody in town. It's very quiet. So many businesses have shuttered and closed down already. And so one thing that we all can do in order to help the world blossom back to where we were before, at least financially, we need to support small businesses. I can't even tell you how important that is. And when it comes to wine, supporting small businesses can be very, very simple. And we're going to talk about that right now. So most of you are going to go out and buy a bottle of champagne or Prosecco or Cava or something today. The first thing I'm going to tell you is if you're choosing to buy champagne, I want you to remember, I want you to know, first of all, that 1 of every 2 bottles of champagne sold in this country is Veuve Clicquot. So think about that. They have fully 50% of the champagne sales in this country. Promise me, I want everybody to raise their hand and promise me they will never buy a bottle of Veuve Clicquot ever again. That's all I want from you. Never buy a bottle of Veuve Clicquot ever again. And here's a phrase I need you to remember. Grower champagne. I want you from now on, every time you buy a bottle of champagne, I want you to buy a bottle of champagne from a farmer and not a multinational corporation. How about that? Is that a deal you can make me? And that's real easy. If you, the big ones, Veuve, Tattinger, Dom, right? All of that, Moet, those are big names. They don't need your help, but the farmer needs your help. Now, you may think, well, I can always get Veuve Clicquot for $36 a bottle. Okay, I don't care. They're not good to the region. They buy grapes from all over the Champagne region and truck them in and make wine from all of it. There's no specificity. There's no terroir, right? So if you can't bring yourself to spend the extra $5 to $15 that you might spend on a bottle of grower champagne, you you might decide instead to go, frankly, a lateral step across to Cremant. And that is the other thing that we're going to talk about in our wine classes. I love Cremant. I love Cremant. I love Cremant. It is the experience of Champagne, but with so much more diversity, right? Because you can have Cremants from Burgundy, from Bordeaux, from the Loire. You can have them from the Jura, right? There are so many places all over France where we're making awesome sparkling wines. And what makes them diverse and unique is that they're made from the grapes that are in that region. So when we're talking about Champagne, you're really talking about the same thing as what a Cremant de Bourgogne is, Cremant from Burgundy. And so they're going to use the same grapes, right, basically. Now, a Champagne can use Pinot Noir and Chardonnay, and Pinot Blanc. There are a few other little grapes, but hardly anybody uses them. But here in Bourgogne, you might find some Aligoté, you might find some Gamay, so you're going to have a richer experience of that. In Jura, there are grapes that probably you've never heard of. You may be thinking, where is this Jura she speaks of? Get out a map and look it up, I say to you. So there's all of these things that you can have. And another thing to think of, Michael Whidden, if you're out there, we've got a little Clotilde d'Avesnes here. And so this is a wonderful wine. Again, we're talking about Bourgogne. So this is going to be vibrant. This is made from old and deep-rooted vines. They're minimally filtered and fermented using indigenous yeasts. It's one of my favorite stories in the wine business is, golly, almost 20 years ago when I met Joe Dresner for the first time, may God rest his soul. I walked in his office and he shoved a glass of wine in my face and said, smell this. It smells terrible, doesn't it? And I said, yes, it does smell terrible. And he said, you want to know what's wrong with this wine? I said, I would love to know what's wrong with this wine. And he reached under his desk and he picked up a bag, a little 1 pound like coffee bag of yeast. He said, it's this disgusting yeast. So what are indigenous yeasts? Yeast is all around us. So I could cultivate yeast here from my kitchen and make wine from grapes and indigenous yeasts right here in my kitchen. So there are lots of things, so many things to consider and so much more to look for. Now you're going to probably, some of you might have trouble finding wines that are Cremant, but if you start asking your local wine seller for Cremant, they're going to get some for you. And the difference is that you can drink a bottle of sparkling wine if you're drinking Cremant every day, because you can absolutely hold your daily cost to about 20 bucks. So think about that. For the cost, perfect, of 2 bottles of Cremant, you can have 1 bottle of Champagne. So I always like to have a little more than a little less. Now, let's have a little sip. My glass smells bad. Ugh, let's see if we can find a better smelling glass. You know, that happens sometimes, although it just may be that this one didn't get washed last night. Let's put that aside and see how this one, let's see if we can get another glass here and see if this smells much better. So let's see what we have here for a beautiful bottle of sparkling wine. And this may need to be a little colder, so I'm not going to pour a huge glass just now. Oh, mama. Oh, baby, that is so good. You could put that against any big name champagne, and this might win. That's how good it is. So I am going to put this back in the fridge just for a little bit so it can cool off. And then we'll make some lunch. So here we go. Ba-dum. And I'll put these 2. So this bottle of Cremant Bourgogne came from my sweet friend Erin, and this bottle of Cremant de Jura came from who I think is one of the greatest palates in New York, Savio Soares. So we'll give you notes on, when we're finished. I'll give you notes on where you can find these wines. So if you are in New York, or if you, all my Kentucky friends now live in a place where wine can be delivered to you, so that's good too. So here's what I'm gonna do for lunch really fast, since this is a cooking show and not just a talking about wine show. So I have here, look how pretty this baguette is. Bread's is actually the best baguette I've had in a very, very, very long time. So I'm gonna give this a little cut, bada bing, and another cut, bada bing. I'm gonna make myself a little kind of small sandwich. And let's give this a good cut down the side. Excellent. Now, I kind of want to take a little bit of this out so I can have a little bite of it right now. So good. So good. Perfect. I'm just going to slip that there for the moment while I make a little dressing. This is not, for me, you can always just say, hey, I'm going to make a, just put some mayonnaise and some mustard on here. But I like to make a little something, like a little dipping sauce, like if you were at an Italian restaurant and wanted to, they bring you bread and all the stuff that you dip into it. And I like to do that. It's almost like a little vinaigrette, right? To dress the bread. I'm going to do a lot of that, a little bit there. I need to smash this garlic clove. See, I always forget something. I always forget to put something out. And here we go. Smash that garlic clove. Come on, garlic clove. Smash a little faster for me, would you? There we go. Now you're smashing. Beautiful. So that's a little of the garlic confit that I made the other day. And there's that. I'm going to put a little, about the same amount of olive oil in that I put vinegar. Put a tiny little bit of mustard in here. Just a little bit. There we go. And now, oops, that's not right. That's not the top that goes there. I'm going to take this and give it a really good shake. And see what kind of consistency we've got going here. Fantastic. I'm going to put my bread into toast. I'm going to get some herbes de Provence because I have them. And give that a little, I really love herbes de Provence because of the lavender. Not everybody loves the lavender like I do, but boy, I love the lavender. Always give them a little smush so that they activate the oils in there. Another little shake. Awesome. And then I'm just, oh, the bread is toasting. See, this way I probably won't burn the bread today. Maybe I won't burn the bread today. And I've got my, it smells like it's burning a little bit. I guess it's getting really warm in there. So a little yummy, yummy, yummy salami. I love salami. Here we go. My knot is not coming undone as quickly as I'd like for it to, but here we go. Perfect. And we're going to cut a few slices of this yumminess. Let's give this a little cut here. Open this up a little bit so that I can get into the yummy, yummy, yummy cheese. Come on, work with me, cheese guy. Plastic. The bane of our existences, right? Here we go. Marvelous. Now I've gotten that pulled back, and I'm going to use my bread knife because, fresh mozzarella is really soft. You can also, another great way to do it, you can use dental floss is a great way to do it. If you want to use a straight knife, you can, but I'd also recommend that maybe you get it really hot before you start cutting the cheese. To say, I'm so sorry. How's my bread looking over here? It's getting there. It's getting there. I'm going to get a little plate out of here. There we go. Little plate. My figgy plate. And here we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this bottom piece and I'm going to drizzle a little of my dressing down in there. Just a little bit. It's almost thick enough to spread. And then I'm going to put the cheese here. Big, nice piece of cheese there. A couple of, look, the little end pieces. They're cute. We'll get them in there. Another couple pieces. I'm going to be eating some salami sandwiches for a while, I'm afraid. But that's okay. I'm going to give myself a little bit more here on my cheese. You know what I forgot? One of the best parts of this, silly me. Where, oh where can you be? Can you be? Look at me. I found it. Here we go. A little red onion. You gotta have a little red onion, at least for crunch, right? So let's do this. And voila, perfect piece from when I had bagels the other day. Here we go, a couple of yummy, yummy bits of red onion. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Perfect. And then we'll take our top piece of bread and again drizzle a little of that yumminess in here, that yumminess flavor in here. Mmm. Yummy, 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 yummy. And voila. Sandwich and cremant bourgogne. Thank you, Clotilda, for that delicious drink. So that's it, guys. I'd love it if you guys would comment on here and let me know what you are planning to do for New Year's, since we can't go out. I never go out on New Year's. I might go to a party at somebody's house, but it's been my experience, especially here in New York, that people who never go out on New Year's Eve, and so it's just a nightmare. I always, like I said, I'll go to a house party, I'll go there early, I'll stay all day, all night, and then come home after all the mess at Times Square has gone. But it's, like I said, it's so quiet here, guys, I can't even tell you. But it's going to be a new year any day now, so I look forward to the moment I wake up and realize that 2020 is in the rearview mirror. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget, we're going to buy grower champagnes. No more Veuve Clicquot. You're going to thank me for it. Ciao, guys. See you tomorrow.